leader of Swaledale Scouts, and I just thought I'd share with you a concept called the Wheel of the Year. I often show this model when I'm in the outdoors, just using these, not the log, but the walking pole, showing the 8 spokes of the wheel. And this is about the natural rhythm of the year and the different seasons, and a lot of it comes from very old pagan festivals, which were then later converted into religious festivals from various religions, but principally they're related to what was actually happening at that year. And I think sometimes we've become a bit separated from that due to urbanization. So let me just take you through these parts of the year. We've got the 21st of December, the winter solstice, the 1st of February, which not many of us know is St Bridget's Day or Candlemas. Then we've got the 20th of March, which is the vernal or the spring equinox. And then we've got the 1st of May, May Day. Right. And then we move round and we have the 21st of June, the summer solstice and all things midsummery. Then we've got the 1st of August. It's kind of a time of harvest, and used to be the summer bank holiday before it was moved to the last Monday in August. And then we have the 22nd of September, which is the autumn equinox. And finally we move into the 1st of November and 31st of October, All Hallows Eve and All Hallows Day. But in actual fact, if we go back to pagan times, it was this 1st of November which was the start of the year. And if you notice there's a leaf, and it's a dried leaf. This was when all the leaves had pretty much fallen off the trees, and it was the ancient festival of Samhain, and this was viewed as the start of the year. Now it then moved on from Samhain to the Christian festival of All Saints, and through Christianity of All Saints Day, All Hallows, everything hallow. Now if we weren't ready for winter by the 1st of November, we're going to struggle to survive through to February, March maybe, when we can get some food. So let's move on to the 21st of December, which is near to our modern New Year. And this is a pagan festival called Yule. And the thing we associate with that is berries. Now there aren't many berries left, but the only real food we've got to survive through the winter is berries. And so that's the fruit. Obviously I'm talking here about the northern hemisphere, because in the southern hemisphere this winter solstice is in fact the summer solstice. And then we move on to a festival which most of us in England will have forgotten, but if you're over in Ireland you will know St Bridget's Day. In the church known as Candlemas, and in the pagan calendar as Imbolc. And many things, Imbolc Day was associated with fire, and the flower associated with that of course is the snowdrop. And we see snowdrops, one of the first flowers of the year. Why is the snowdrop so powerful? Well, it gives us a sense of hope that we've got through most of the winter. And that's important, particularly if you're in northern climes where the sea would still be frozen. Okay, it will give you a sense of hope that you could move around. And now we move on to the spring equinox. Equi mean equal, equal night and equal day. And the pagan festival, this is Ostara, which is where we get the word estrogen from. And the flower associated with that, of course I don't have any at the moment, is the daffodil, because they're all over by now. And this in fact is where this pagan festival of Ostara is where we get the word Easter. And it was also associated with rabbits, is where our Easter bunnies come from. So really important festival. So most of these pagan festivals were actually just used and adopted by the Christian calendar and called a different name. And then we moved on to 1st of May, which is very close to now, is it not? A festival of Beltane, again associated with fire, but also this beautiful flower, which is out on the trees at the moment, and is in fact hawthorn. We get hawthorn and blackthorn, but the hawthorn was is the plant associated with the May Day, and this is the lambing season, yeah, and also muck spreading, yeah. And over in China, you'll have festivals associated in different parts of the world, things like dragon boat racing. So now we move on to the 21st of June, the summer solstice, with the longest day, the longest amount of sunlight. Very close to St. Midsummer's Day, not quite, and near to St. John's Day. That's the birthday of John the Baptist, which is actually the 24th of June. And we associate this with the poppy. Look, there's a yellow poppy already out, and the red poppies at the front of my house are actually out as well now. And this is a big day. Okay, this is the one that we're kind of celebrating now. And if I travel around the world, okay, there are lots and lots and lots of different festivals around this time. The Quechua people down in South America have really worshipped the sun in many ways, because the sun is so important to the fertility of the crops. And if you go to Machu Picchu in Peru, there is a stone there where they tried to tie the sun to a post in winter so that it wouldn't disappear forever and would come back. And equally, they glorified it on Midsummer's Day when it remained. If you go to South America as well, I noticed that children, when they're doing their drawings, they put more than one sun on because the sun is so important. And people will pick elderflowers around summer solstice and make elderflower wine and use the elderberries to make other drinks. And this is the time probably when we start to shear the sheep because it's far too hot. And then we move round to the 1st of August. And the 1st of August, associated with really the start of harvest, the real beginning, the big busy part of the harvest, and a kind of an unknown, a less known pagan festival of Lughnasadh. And there's also a day called Bilberry Sunday, and if you're up on the moorland you'll see loads and loads of bilberries among the heather, and this is when they're at their height. And then we also get this, which is the wheat sheaf, yeah, and we get many pubs called a wheat sheaf, and farmers would make bread with wheat sheep symbols on them and bury them in the and leave them in the corner of their barns as good luck, because that's where they were storing all the harvest to last them through the winter. It's also a time when people would make corn dollies or corn gods. So there's an awful lot of tradition around this time. And then we move on to the 22nd of September, and this is our autumn equinox. So again, we're back to an equal night, an equal day, and the festival of Mabon. Okay, and then the Welsh, they have the child of light, and the son who was the son of Mother Earth. And here we've got apples. Apples are plentiful late in the season, as are many other blackberries and things like that. And this is where the big festivals of the green man, of everything to do with the fruits of the earth, comes along. But it's also a time of dew. And then we're back to All Hallows Eve and things dark and dying and closing down for the winter. And so here is our wheel of the year, just something to contemplate. So there we have the wheel of the year, as narrated by myself, Richard Tarrant from Swaledale Scouts. I just meant it really as a thing of inspiration, really, as an ideas generator. And my challenge to you now is for you to go away and create something that either represents the summer solstice, the longest day of sunlight of the year, hopefully, or something to do with the wheel of the year. And you can make that however you want, or you could make something creative using natural materials, or you can just draw, or you can do a video to camera, or you can act it, or can do anything. But to give you an example, when I think of the summer, I could just write down loads and loads of things associated with the summer. So here we have, I've written a list here: pink flamingos, ice cream and ice lollipops, beach huts and crabs and inflatables and swimwear and palm trees, and a big wheel at the fair, and desert islands and yachting and snorkels and pineapples and watermelons and cameras and flip-flops and all sorts of things, and umbrellas, or parasols we should probably say. So just use your own creativity and just see what you associate with the longest day of the year, even though you might not have thought about it yourself. Thank you for listening.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to